There's been a rumor spreading around that chainsaw chaps are ineffective against electric chainsaws because these electric motors have so much torque, they'll just cut right through them. I have wondered for a long time, is that really true, or is this one of those cases where some guy said something because it sounded good, then a bunch of guys believed him because it sounded good? That reminds me of what Ronald Reagan said, trust but verify. I've learned when it comes to chainsaws, when you hear some guy saying something about a chainsaw, it's better to be skeptical than verify. Today I'm going to take one for the team and try to find out if they really will stop an electric chainsaw. So let's see how it goes. Turn it on. Sure hope this doesn't go through. I'm just kidding, I'm not going to really do it that way. I'm not going to test it like that. If you notice, I got new chainsaw chaps. I'm going to take my old ones, put those over the new ones, and I can test it with 2 layers, so hopefully it won't go through. Nah, I'm just kidding again. I'm going to put these on a tree instead. I think that's a little bit of a smarter way to do it. This tree's dying anyway, so no worries about harming a tree if it's dying anyway. The idea behind chainsaw chaps, they're not so much an impenetrable barrier that the chainsaw can't cut through. Instead, they are full of these long, thin fibers. When the chainsaw starts cutting into them, it rips those fibers out. They get all tangled up in the chain and the sprocket and quickly stop the chain. Some people believe that the electric battery-powered chainsaws have so much torque, they're going to power right through that and it's not going to stop them. I'm thinking one of the more common ways to cut yourself with a chainsaw is going to be something like this. We're going to try to mimic that. That was disturbing. Let's see what kind of an injury we sustained here. I don't think that's a let's put a band-aid on it and it'll all be better kind of injury. I think that's more of an I got to try out my trauma kit and go for an ambulance ride today kind of injury. Or maybe time to grow wings and start learning how to play the harp type of injury. What did we learn here today about electric chainsaws and chaps? I don't think we learned anything about that. What we did learn is that old wore out chaps are completely ineffective. These ones had some holes in them that I burned in them from slash burning. It got dirty inside. This stuff is just all wore out. This material that's supposed to shred and plug up the saw didn't even shred until I got to some of this over on the edge. This stuff in the middle was all tangled up with junk that got in through those holes. It's all wore out. Right at the end, we did get some of this stuff that the saw pulled out. That's what's supposed to plug up the sprocket, but hardly any of it even made it to the sprocket, which is a little disturbing because now I know I have been wearing chaps thinking I was protected for a while now that have been completely ineffective. How many other people might there be out there who are doing the same? We probably don't have to worry about that a lot with men because it says right in the directions, if there are any damages, any visual signs of damages to the chaps, throw them away, replace them. And you know how good we men are at following and reading directions. When we get something new, the first thing we do, we rustle through the package, try to find the manual, the directions. We read it thoroughly multiple times to make sure we understand everything before we even touch the item. We're also well known for asking directions if we're lost or need help. So I'm not worried about the men out there, at least. Same with going to the doctor. As soon as we notice anything going on health-wise, right to the doctor as soon as possible. Yet for some mysterious, unexplainable reason, we men have a shorter life expectancy than women do. Not sure what's going on there. Since this experiment didn't work out because those chaps were completely wore out and ineffective, I could try it again using my new ones. But dude, these are expensive. And it's already been done. Some other channels have already done it. Mike Morgan from Outdoors with the Morgans did it. He used an even more powerful battery-powered chainsaw than that one. The chaps stopped it perfectly. They worked flawlessly. I saw someone else did it. They strapped them to a tree. The saw went through them just a little bit, but the Chaps did stop the chain, tangle it up like it was supposed to, and the injury would have been minor instead of this learn to play the harp type of injury. I've also seen people test them with gas-powered chainsaws. The results were similar. Sometimes it did stop them before it went through. Sometimes it stopped them, but it went through just a little bit. These are not expected to completely protect you from cutting your leg. If anything, they may just reduce the severity of the injury. So even if you are wearing Chaps, that doesn't mean it's okay to stop trying to not cut your leg in two with a chainsaw. With all of that, I think with either type of saw, you're probably better off wearing your Chaps. Even if they do go through, I think you're better off having this be your first line of defense than having your femoral artery be your first line of defense. Unless you really want to try out your trauma kit, go for an ambulance ride, or grow wings and learn how to play the harp. When I bought these new ones, I bought the short ones again. That serves two purposes. One, it gives the viewers of this channel the opportunity to continue making fun of me for my short Chaps. I'm sure that's worth a lot. The other reason, I already made a video about why I prefer wearing them short. I'll put a link to that video up here somewhere. I might even put it in the, the description, because some people can't use those links. They don't work on all devices. Go check that out. I'll tell you why I think it's safer, at least for me, to wear them short than it is to wear them all the way down to my boots. Go watch that and I'll kick you some knowledge. Off to Chainsaw Chap Olympus you go. Goodbye, old chap. Old chap, get it?